Mhm. We are live and we are live. Welcome back to another amazing live stream. Today I'm going to do a live stream differently because I'm joined with this very amazing ladies. Welcome back to another. Hey, mimi ndo nafanya hapa ni kama I don't know what I'm. Okay, sir. I'm joined with these very amazing ladies, but before we start, we're going to have a very interesting topic. We're going to be talking about dating in Africa and what to expect, what ladies want, and just things to be dating. So feel free to drop your questions, comments in the comment section, and yeah. So let's give it 2 minutes as usual before we start the stream, so that we can have more people joining. And as you are coming in, hit the like button, share, and subscribe. We have 27 people already. First, hi Kaylin Lynn, blessed life with Dendra. How are you doing? Deidra. I hope I'm reading Deidra. Okay, let me read the comments from here because it's easier other than instead of straining on that side, okay? So we're going to be having wow, so clear.
It's so clear. That's why I'm looking and I'm really admiring. Your light has to be. I need to get this lighting.
What? Yes. Let us know where you are joining us from. Let us know where you are joining us from. Wagwan, Peter Tosh, G Stone Fitness. How are you doing?
Amazing.
Zilpa Shalom, Bill Clinton. Hello from California. Surely dating is not the same across all of the continent, isn't it? Well, we're going to find out. There's some aspects that could be the same, and then of course there are aspects that vary. And maybe later on we're gonna open the stream so we can have more people to call in and share your opinion on that. So we are about to start. 20 seconds. Hit the like button. Hit the like button. Hit that like button. Let's know where you are watching. What? Too much sweet. Too much sweet. Too much English.
Too much English.
Too much English.
That's an inside joke, guys.
That's my Kenyanness.
Yeah, I wanted to say that. That's your ghetto.
No, it's not ghetto.
It's
It's
not
mother
ghetto.
tongue interference or something.
Oh.
Yeah, so too much English. Hit that like button. Let us know where you are joining from. But let's first introduce our first guest here next to me.
My name is Ruby.
And you're gonna speak with.
My name is Ruby, and they call me the Nilotic Empress here on YouTube Fields.
My name is Kemunto Bear, and I'm a Kenyan YouTuber who do Kenyan videos.
All right. I'm just seeing someone is asking. We want to hear about the time you fell in love. Anyway, first question I'm going to ask these lovely ladies: what do you expect from a man when you are dating? I'm gonna start with you, Kate.
Me,
Yes.
generosity. Very
Yeah,
generous.
tell us, go in depth. Tell us,
In
we want to know.
everything, with his body, with his money, with his like cooking for me, like simple things. It doesn't just an act of generosity.
Just that. That's all you want.
The first thing you said. The first
Okay,
thing.
first. Okay,
Yeah.
and you?
For me, somebody really need to. First of all, they need to be caring. What I mean by that is that there are somebody who is supposed to be, as in, they're supposed to have I don't know, the Christian foundation, or they have to come from a good Christian family, and also their principles. They have to have great principles. Also, if they have old-fashioned views on marriage and relationships, that would be perfect. And what I mean by old-fashioned views is that they are very sort of direct, and they don't play around with women's hearts. They don't really awake love, as in make a woman fall in love with them only, but they don't have any intention of getting anywhere further with this woman, especially if the woman has expressed to them that she wants something long term. So I know that there are different people in life. There are some people who don't mind the hookup culture and the dating culture, and and I don't need to be married. I just need to. But then there's some ladies who are actually looking for something long term. So if a man is into long term relationship, they need to actually speak that and communicate that to a woman so that she knows. Otherwise, if they want to just play around, then obviously also they can also communicate that to somebody who is very transparent, somebody who is very open communication, and who's not dodgy, like who's just trying to play with your heart and drop it and go to the next woman. So that is where the principles is coming from. So it has to be aligned with each other. Both each other has to have the same principles when it comes to dating.
Okay, and as I'll give my opinion at the end of I'll give my opinion at the end of this. Anyway, does physical appearance matter? Does physical appearance matter?
It's a bonus. It doesn't really matter, but it's a bonus.
Okay. For me, I wouldn't say no to a handsome man.
Yeah.
I wouldn't really say no to a handsome man. But if like he is like vertically challenged, like shorter than I am, I would overlook that, and it's not gonna be a deal breaker.
Because you're too tall.
Yeah, you're too tall.
Yes, but also there is something that is a turn off for me. Unfortunately, I don't like guys with bellies. Unfortunately, I feel like if you cannot look down like this and your belly is preventing you from seeing the view, then I feel like you're letting yourself go in this relationship. I'm the only person who's supposed to be pregnant and not you. So I think it's very important. Otherwise, like facial features wise, then that one can be overlooked.
Me, I like dark, I like my
Dark.
dark, like dark chocolate. Yes.
Yeah, he like tall, dark, and handsome man.
TD head.
Mhm,
I'm gonna. And what about the dressing?
What? I am so big in that, guys. I love a guy who dresses well, as in
This is Apple Joyce.
yes. Oh yeah. You really don't have a guy really don't have designer clothes or whatnot. But for me, if you have good shoes, like good, even if it is just one pair of shoes, good belt, and just pay attention to little details, like especially when you're coming to meet me, smell good, iron your shirt, and just like you don't have to dress expensive, just look absolutely neat. And something else, the vest has to, if it is a white vest, I don't want to see any stains on it, please. I don't want to, like, if I have a peep of your, same as me seeing stains on my bra, whatever, I feel like that's a turn off. So for me, smell good and look extremely neat.
Yeah, and clean, like being clean, especially in your private areas.
You're speaking solo. I don't know.
Especially
Am I
in
the
your
one who's
private-
shouting?
And
I'm not
also your
shouting.
teeth. Oh my goodness, have good oral hygiene.
Yes,
Mm.
that's very key.
Mhm.
Yeah.
All right. If you have any questions, go ahead and ask. So this was just opening the conversation, but now we're going to go. There's always this thing that people say that apart from, I think it's a joke.
Mhm.
Apart from dating in Nairobi, what other extreme sports do you know?
There's nothing as hard in Nairobi as that. As in,
Dating is the hardest thing.
yes, it's
Yes.
extreme. Like it's I don't know. Like how little the needle, when the needle, like what something says in the Bible, like it's gonna be very difficult for a rich man to enter heaven, just like it's difficult for the needle to get inside for the thread to get inside the small needle or whatever. That is how difficult it is. For me personally, everybody have their own experiences. But what I know is that finding a hookup, somebody to hook up with, is very easy here in Nairobi. You can get it whoever, But finding love, it's close to almost impossible. To me, that's what I think.
Okay, and also I have a lot of people who watch my platform. You know, this live is on 3 platforms, on both my channels, Kenyan Sister, African Tigress, and also on my Facebook page. So I know people are watching me from all those various platforms. So I have there's a lot of people, a lot of brothers and sisters who are coming from the diaspora who would love maybe to find love on the continent. What should they expect?
There's like in ladies, they should expect like really,
I don't know. I
really
hope everybody's
cultural,
audible. I like
clear. I like they should expect like people like the women here are really respectable and very loyal and very hardworking and of course very beautiful.
But really, not all of them. When it comes to
But
loyal and
majority,
hardworking,
but
not
majority
really all.
are. I am.
Are you single?
I'll answer that question at the end of
What do
this
you think
video.
people should expect?
Kenyan, I mean, I know that sometimes the guys in diaspora usually label women in diaspora as they are very much exposed to the outside world. So they like glitz and glossy stuff. They like expensive dinners. They like great, good gifts. And they just like sort of, they are very materialistic, let's say. But let me just say that even here in Africa, um, women like to be treated well, as in they like gifts, like even if it is a flower or every woman, let no woman tell you that they don't like material stuff. They do like material stuff. But for us, it just depends on how you are raised. For example, if you find somebody who's raised in the suburb and has got a family, rich father, rich mother, and they are coming from a well-off background, you'd not expect to date her and then to take her from where she's used to this type of a lifestyle, and now you are taking her to a lifestyle that she doesn't recognize. What is this? Obviously she's gonna be picky. But then when it comes to girls who've been raised into the rural homes, like for example, me myself, I wasn't raised in the city. Those ladies have got it both ways. They know how it feels to have not running water, not toilet, running water, toilet, electricity, and no cooking gas, and like domesticated, like rural lifestyle. So those ladies understand what it feels to have nothing, and then what it feels to have something. So I think it just depends on which woman you find. But I think that majority of African women are very domesticated, because we are always taught as young girls to
Be
to be
submissive.
not really that, like to become nature and to take nurture
Mhm.
and to take care of the family, to cook and to clean and all that, whilst men on the other side, they just be loitering around. They don't do any housework and do anything. So I think most ladies are prepared for that. So we are very domesticated, I think. That is what I think. So you can expect that from African women.
What about you? Personally,
I feel like now, like the modern girl is not so much like
domestic. Why? I don't know. Is it? Why
Domesticated.
do you call it domesticated?
Like the girl who takes care of a home, like
Yeah.
she can run a home, like take care of a home, cleanliness, cooking, rearing kids.
What
Like she doesn't mind.
What percentage of the population, approximately? Now, let's use the Kenyan context because we're in Kenya. What percentage of the population do you think is like that?
I think
Of the ladies.
majority of girls are always in the kitchen helping their mothers with cooking,
Yeah.
and like they are just generally raised to help around the house more. Rather than men in Kenya, they don't really cook and clean. Majority of them don't do that.
Mhm.
But ladies do that majority of the time.
Okay.
Yeah, but men don't
It
do
is
that
highly
really.
expected for a lady.
Yeah, it's highly
to cook, clean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But again, there are men who actually help around the house, because when these women, you don't marry them to be a housemaid just because you think that an African woman is just gonna take her so that she can be cleaning around and cooking for me and whatnot. Well, that is why in Africa we have very affordable housemaids. So sometimes she will take care of the cooking, and taking care of the children. But some of the heavy duty things like cleaning a mansion or a big house, housemaids are very easy to employ here. They are very cheap, like less than $100 a month.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay. Personally, what I've seen in the city, especially in the cities, it's not this. I don't a lot of women, I can say, if I compare that to the times of our parents, I can't say that a lot of women love to do all the domesticated stuff that you mentioned, comparing these days to the times of our parents, and also comparing it to the city life versus village. I think at the village, it's rather obvious how things are done there. And then in the city, it's kind of different because in the village, sometimes, maybe in some, not even all villages, some villages which are like really deep in the interior, where maybe the women are not as much, might not have had much access to the education, because in some places, if you choose with school fees, priority is given to the man or to the boy child to go to school other than the girl child, right? The girl child is married off in some places so that they can, whatever, the family can get the dowry money and use it, for their own benefit. Sometimes even some girls are married off underage. So maybe in those places, you'd automatically maybe find the women, like, they know the kitchen is their place. But when you come to the cities, it kind of changes, the dynamics changes, because the woman in the city is not just sitting at home waiting to cook, clean, and do all that. The woman in the city is out there hustling, also trying to build something for themselves.
Yeah.
But honestly, for me, I it depends on your observation. But everybody have their different observations. Me, I have observed as majority of the ladies are like to be housewives, and they like to take care of their children. They like to majority of them likes to be housewives. They likes to be taken care of.
Me personally,
Can you be a housewife? Yes. You'd love to be a housewife?
Yes.
They don't like
But
to
I
hustle.
do like a hustle, but I don't mind being a housewife.
A housewife.
She have a side hustle, but she doesn't mind. There's nothing wrong with wanting to be a housewife.
Yeah,
Because also majority of men, because I know men that I've talked to or that I've worked with closely, all of them are out working the entire day. They have 5-6 children, and their wives are at home taking care of these children. These children are minors, and they cannot just trust a housemaid to be raising these children for them. So because right nowadays housemaids, it's been proven that lots of housemaids really mistreat children. They like sort of violate children. So a lot of people have chosen to take the rearing of their own children by. So the man usually goes out, and then the woman is left at home to take care of the children. That is just what I have observed.
Would you mind being a housewife?
Unless if I'm working at home, I have something I'm doing in the side, like I have
Just
my
to keep
income, I
me
have my
busy.
own money. I need to have my own money. I don't need to ask my husband for every single thing.
Yeah, for me, I need to have my own money, but spend.
I need to work, but at home.
Okay. And Kemuto, what's your take on being a housewife?
Housewife, best. Like it's no, like for me, I prefer to be a housewife, but not to just sit down and do nothing.
So, but you'll be doing the house calls,
yeah,
cleaning, taking care of babies. It's a full-time job.
I like I've been doing that all my life. I've been taking care of my sibling nieces. Yeah, so I've been doing that, so it's nothing new.
I would love to hear your thoughts and opinion. I would love to hear your thoughts and opinion about housewife and all that. Okay, what about house husbands?
Hi, that's a big.
No, honestly, yeah. I know of such.
House husband.
Yes.
Me, I can't. I know I cannot be a housewife.
And
You cannot be a housewife.
Hey, me,
You
I
are the
can't.
Jay-Z and Beyonce dynamic.
Not exactly, but I can't be a housewife. I'm the type of lady who's out there doing things. So me just being at home and relying, I want to be among the movers and shakers, and I don't feel that being at home would give me that opportunity to be among the movers and shakers.
But what about taking care of your household?
Household how?
As in,
Are you
you have a
planning to
house
have
to run,
kids?
you have a husband to take care of, and you have children to take care of. Who's gonna take care of this? Like, okay, you can work, but your role as a wife, where is it?
My role as a wife, I
Mhm.
mean, if as a parent to begin with, for my children,
Mhm.
of course you do create time for that.
Mhm.
But just by the fact that I'm creating time with that, and I don't have to be with them 24/7, it doesn't mean that I'm not doing my role. I'm not fulfilling my role. And then some of the things that maybe staying at home, cleaning, and all that. Such things. Some of those things are just things that you can delegate.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Delegate to who?
Just hire people to delegate to people, like hire people, assign them,
so-
pay people.
Oh, so you prefer people to work for you rather than, like, for example, if it was cleaning the house,
Yeah,
or taking care of your children.
And a
I
nanny.
I'll have time with my children when I create that time. I design the time that I want to be with them. The rest of the times I can put them in programs, put them in school, put them in, for me, I'm not staying at home.
For me,
I'm not staying at home cleaning the house. That one someone can do. Laundry, it's not a problem. Doing laundry and all that. Even cooking, if I can afford a chef, why not?
Yeah.
you know what I believe personally? I believe that children come to your life and then they are with you for a very short while, and then they leave home, like they are gone. And if I feel like there's a lot of people who've given the mandate to housemaids and houseboys to take care of their children, and in majority of cases they trust these people so much that they don't understand that maybe because when you've had come from a background where you've been violated or something like this happened, you've seen it happen, you would never trust your child with just people who come to you and like take care of them. Like you need to be an eye, you need to take care of them. Yes, they can go to kindergarten and whatnot, but majority of time you just want to be present in their development, in their growth. You don't want to be running around and you come back and you find the baby started walking and mommy was not around to actually even capture that. I believe that children are here we watch them grow, we experience them, we nurture them, and when they is when they need us the most. And money can always be made. That is what I think.
Me, I'm not okay. You see, the thing is, I'm out there working, and I'm not going to look for shoddy house helps or shoddy house helps and people who are going to like do shoddy stuff. I'm out there working, making the money, okay, making good money to afford quality. Someone to take care of my children, it's quality, and I'm going to put all measures, be it CCTVs, be it whatever it takes. But I'm not taking apart from like when they are young, you see, like those months that they're young and you have their leave and all that. That's fine. That's fine. But me, besides, I'm a traveler, and I'm not going to give up my traveling. Come to, you're a traveler, so you're gonna be a stay at home. Are you going?
The good thing with traveling and being an online influencer, you can do
So
your
you'll be
work
going with the
anywhere.
kids and kids needs to be in school. What will you do?
Homeschool.
Me, I think when you decide to become a mother, I think you have to be very selfless.
Yeah.
I think that you have to be very, very selfless. That
But
is the
you
reason
don't-
why when you are still young, you need to, or even before you get married, you need to experience this traveling. You need to go do whatever it is that you want, so that when you come, you get married, you know that now you're going to be having a family to run, you're going to be having children to take care of. Therefore, these
But-
children needs your attention. You can't just
But
walk and leave them.
again, having children doesn't mean like you forget yourself.
Yeah, but that's why I mean that you need
Not everybody.
plan
Okay.
these travels,
Okay.
but with the children in it.
Another
Yes.
thing is looking at it. Not everybody gets that opportunity to travel when they are young.
Yeah.
or to do if they love traveling. Not everybody gets the opportunity to travel when they are young. So some people will maybe have that opportunity maybe in their midlife or something. So you can't say like, oh, travel when you're young, when you decide to have kids. But then it depends with the dynamics anyway. I don't have children, but I have children.
Yeah.
For now, for them.
but honestly, it's just like I think I'm trying to project. I'm projecting on projecting. Maybe I'm projecting, and maybe I'm relating on because I feel like I need children's innocence need to be protected, and I've watched a lot of children being raised by housemates simply because their mothers have money and they are chasing career and they are fixating on money and setting up a lifestyle for their children's future that they even totally miss the moment with to have moment with their family in its own. So I think that you have to strike a balance between these two.
Yeah, that's what I said. I will create time for them.
Yeah,
I'll create their time. But then that doesn't mean I have to be around them 24/7. I'll still create time for kids. If I have kids, I'm gonna create time for them. But that doesn't mean I'm gonna be around them for 24/7. There are moments, of course, I'll be on there with them 24/7. But then someone like me,
you miss their like basketball team?
If I'm busy, yes, I can miss. And
no way.
I can't miss all of them. I attend most of them. I mean, look. Personally, I'm someone who's looking at myself someday of getting into the political leadership position, okay? Because that's something I'm very passionate about, politics and leadership. That's something I'm looking at getting into at a certain point in my life. So, am I going, okay, I know this can sound insensitive, but am I going to watch my child swimming when the whole nation needs, let me say, maybe there's a very important law that needs to be passed for the whole nation. Maybe it's something very sensitive. Maybe it's a disaster. Maybe it's COVID. Maybe COVID, something to do with COVID, something that has, something maybe that, which one is more dangerous? I would weigh that. Like, my child is fine. She will win or he will win. The father can go there if the father is available. And if I need to take care of the whole nation in a situation, I'll choose the nation.
Okay, I'm gonna be controversial.
I feel like
talking iPhone
before it goes away.
Okay,
I feel like you need to put your house in order and you need to take care of your own little nation in your house and make things in order before you go out to save people out there.
Attending a basketball match that they are participating.
Because listen, this child is never gonna be this age, and it's always with his self-esteem. This child's self-esteem relies on mama watching me play. Relies on a lot of children are gonna have their parents in this play, and then your child is the only one who doesn't have mama. Mama is always never there.
Okay, let's talk about that part.
No, they have a father too, and also if my child was sick, yes, I'll prioritize my child. Okay, if it was sickness, but they're going to play the match. It's not the first match they're playing, and it's not going to be the last match they're gonna play. I'll attend most of them that I can, but I'm not going to attend all of them.
Like women like you attract men, certain type of men.
No,
which type of men?
No,
house boys.
House boys.
No,
I remember house boys. Like house husbands.
Yes, house husbands.
No. That's not my ideal type of man. I'm not gonna
independent women, many independent women, sadly, they do attract this kind of men. Because they have more time to attend the.
No. That's not my reality. That's an assumption. My reality is different. Anyway, we have somebody backstage. Let's hear from our guest, our first caller. Hey, sis.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. What about you?
I am well. This is a great discussion, ladies. This is a great discussion. And I feel each and every one of you because everybody's on different I'm hearing playback. Let me see.
Playback?
No, there's no.
Well,
there's none. Maybe it's from your
Okay.
end. You're playing it on YouTube on your end.
maybe. But I agree a little bit with each and every one of you. But the funny thing is that because I'm married, I have done both of those things. I've been a housewife, and I'm still a housewife slash a working mom. So but you, Tigress, I think you are like the other sister was saying. I think you are the boss. You know, you have like the boss lady, and like you have bigger dreams. And so I think for you, when you have children, like you're gonna have someone to take care of the kids. But for me personally, I kind of agree with Ruby because at certain stage, the children, like right now, my daughter is 8. She's actually turning 9 in 5 days. And then my son is 5, and then I have a 3-year-old. So at that age, it's critical for mama to be around, really, because like even when you accomplish everything in this life, but if your children don't have you as a mom, because we are the nurturer, we are the one who God gave the breast to, to kind of feed our children, to to just be there, to give them hugs, to give them the if they get hurt, daddy do not have that. There is something in mom that daddy do not have. There are some dad that really do care. A lot of fathers care about their children, but there is something with mama touch. There is something with mama saying, "Oh, sweetie, it's okay." And there's something with mama being there that makes the biggest difference for a child growing up. And then you might be making we might be making like the nation happy, but our children will be lonely. Everybody's gonna be happy. It's just like the presidents of the United States, right? If they're not good parents, everybody can love them so much, but within their own household, they'll be hated by their own children. So I think it's like, a sister said on the panel, if you want to do something, like for me, I would say I started having kids early. My daughter, I had her like at 20 something, and I thought I was kind of early because I didn't get to, I guess, experience life like I wanted to. But now that I have them, I'm just going to focus on them when they are all grown. Then I'm going to, start doing what I really want to do. But at this point, it's really about them. And then about the house, the housework. Um, Housework is really sorely rely on women. I know, like in the modern world, we say that men are supposed to be, but when you even look at nature, women are the one who are really like the other sister was saying, cook, talking about cleaning. I mean, it's kind of naturally just fall on us. Even if we're not signed up for it, it just naturally fall on us. Every once in a while, you will see a man that can cook. Thank God for his mother for teaching him how to cook. But most of the time, even in Africa, like the other sister was saying, you will see the girls will be in the kitchen, and it's true. Girls will be in the kitchen, boys will be outside playing football. And that just naturally. And then, like the sister was saying, even in the villages, they would rather send the boys to school, where the girls would be like, "Oh, let's go on the farm. Let's go scratch. Let's go plant the rice. Let's go plant this one." And the boys are sitting there learning. So I think it's culturally, it's really disproportional in a way how the whole thing goes. But I think I was a stay-at-home mom, like I mentioned earlier, and it was really enjoyable, but only because my husband, when he worked, I wasn't like on the sideline. So when my husband used to work at the time, I wasn't like on the sideline. He would bring the money, okay? We both would sit on the table. We would distribute it evenly, even though we pay bills, and I got allowance and he got allowance. You understand? So it wasn't like I didn't feel like I had to kind of ask him, "Hey, honey, can I have like $10? Can I have $20 here?" It was already into the budget because I wasn't working. And because he realized that my job as a mom is also important, that I stay home to take care of our children. Because if I would have put them in daycare, I'm talking so much, but if I would have put them in daycare, it would have been so much money because we have 3 kids. So I had to be home, so we can save that money. And so that money came into our budget, and we were able to split it evenly. So yeah, so the whole dating thing, I really don't know much because the man that I'm with, that's the man that I married. That was my first. Okay, so I don't have too much brownness in the dating scene. I was young. We were like 18 when we met, and now we're 30s. So if I don't have much experience there, so I can say much about the different preferences and stuff. Like I didn't have, I didn't get that that up, how you say, that chance to kind of try to pick out. Let me see, maybe I like this, because I was so young. You know how you young, you start getting into the dating world, and then hey, here I am. So yeah, so I think this is a good topic. I really think it's a great topic, and I hope some more people come on to share. But that's all I had to share.
All right, all right. Thank you so much, sis. I appreciate your contribution. So for those ones who would love to join, I dropped the link in the comment section. You can call in live. So I see someone has said African tigress does not want to be domesticated. It's cool. Just understand what Western influence versus African culture. No, you are wrong. It's not everywhere that African women were staying at home and nurturing or doing all that. We had women the likes of Mekatilili. We had women who led wars on the continent. Especially, there is a lot of women who are leading wars against colonizers. There are women who fought for independence in Africa. So you can't just say that me saying that I want to be a place where I can influence policies and be able to make decisions at that level. It doesn't mean that it's Western influence. No, we had women who actually participated and who are active in taking the leadership in different or various communities. In my community, there was also women leaders. So I don't think it has anything to do with Western influence. Choosing to go to the path of leadership and governance has nothing to do with Western influence. And of course, personally, I didn't say that I'm not taking care of kids. I'll take care of my kids when that time comes. But I'm also not going to be just with the kids 24/7. I will have to also do the things that I love. I'm not going to attend all their basketball matches. I'll attend the ones that I can be able to attend. Because at this moment, at this point, the interest also, as much as the only time I will ensure I'm skipping and I'm prioritizing my children is when my child is sick or my child needs some urgent, like it's an emergency. In both situations, I'll prioritize an emergency. Winning a match is not emergency. You've always won, because my babies, if I have babies, they will win. So they will always win. So it doesn't matter. If I'm not there, daddy can go, or their sister or somebody. I can send someone else whom they love or they trust to be there for them. So yeah, that's
and
just
you know
me.
what? There is also an age where that, like you said, like when the child have become like, I don't know, maybe 5, or even like maybe 4, or at a dependable age, you can do anything, especially because you're gonna be and like you said, there are women in Africa. It's not a westernized mind, because there are women in Africa who is able to powerhouse this thing. Women have been able to raise children. Women have been able to fight war. Women have been able to do anything that they want to do. We're not limited as beings. Women are not limited. Women are like the multitasker of all times. We know how to multitask. We know how to raise children. We know how to clean home. We know how to take care of husband or significant others. We know how to be out there and be leaders. Women can do all of that. And I think the limits really fall on the men, not the women, if you ask me.
Okay. You have something to add to the discussion? Keep hitting the like button. Hit that like button. We see more people. African Superstar, in case you're watching this, I've seen you backstage and then you just disappeared. I want you back on screen.
And then another thing, dating in Kenya, like the dynamics. Another thing in dating in Kenyan dynamics, like most men will expect the woman to contribute like 50-50 on the household. But when they're both working, but when they both come home, it's the woman who's expected to cook, check if the children have done their homework, and the man just go to the sit
and ask for a remote, so that they can watch their favorite
I've seen
program.
it in my family. My mom was working, my dad was working, but the dynamics was really different.
And that's the problem.
Yeah.
Also, another thing I've seen, I know people say you get to marriage, getting into the mindset of coming out and all that, but I've seen women being killed in their marriages because you are told when you're getting married, you're told it's the woman, the woman is the glue that keeps the marriage, okay?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of them persevere a lot. They persevere cheating has I'm not forgiving anyone cheating. That's a lie. I can't forgive. The man will cheat, the man will do this, the man will do this because you're the glue that fits the marriage. You'll persevere all that abuse. I'm not built like that because I can't stand that. And also the fact that okay, fine, you've decided to be a housewife. Our sister, what she said, Success Nation, the dynamics is different. You see, when I was working, she said they would bring the money home, they would share. She didn't have to ask the man for money or anything. The man would bring the money and give her, they share the money, the earnings, and all that. Mm-hmm. But how many situations have you seen whereby a woman decides to rely on her husband, and because you're a housewife, probably you don't have any other job or any other business, the man is going to sometimes they abuse you. They start dating the women they are dating at their place of work because they consider them.
My man will not cheat on me.
Okay, it's okay. Your man will not cheat on you.
And if it does, I'll go to another one.
Never say that.
All right, we have another caller online. Hi, African Superstar. Before you respond, let me remove this sticker so you can see African Superstar is in the house from Ghana. And Wangu Wamakeri was one of the women who fought for independence. Okay. African Superstar, go ahead.
Hello, good evening. Hello.
Good evening. How are you?
I'm good.
Okay, go ahead, please.
I think it's a very complicated dynamic, to be honest. Because coming from the West and then moving here to the continent, I have obviously a different perspective. With African Tigress and I have talked about this many times, before. I prefer traditional roles, and I haven't really had the option to operate in that capacity being in the West because things have gotten to the point in the West where women don't really even have the option to choose if they want to do traditional or if they want to have a more modern way and be independent. Black women, especially in the West, have been thrust into this independent role. So whether or not you don't prefer to be in that setting, that is how people look at you. And and that's why I say it's a complex dynamic because when women become very independent, the man no longer feels that he needs to do a lot of things for her because he feels that that she is capable of doing it on her own. Like here on the continent, men feel that they need to assist women a lot. They feel they need to direct and lead women. They also feel a big responsibility in the home. In the West, it's gotten to the point where a lot of males have completely negated their responsibility, which puts all the responsibility on women. So it is a very dangerous, pathway to go down. Me being here on the continent, I definitely enjoy more traditional roles. I like the option of not having to broaden my shoulders to take that on. So, that's my perspective. I think because women on the continent, they want to exercise their freedom and they want to be relevant in society. That's what makes the independence and, the dual households and all that stuff very attractive to them. But coming from an environment where that stuff is no longer like a choice, it becomes a necessity. People expect that of you and you don't really have the option to choose other lifestyles. This is a much more, I appreciate the option here on the continent more.
Okay. So how would you say generally, how is your experience dating on the continent? Yeah, I know you're one of the ladies who's moved from the diaspora and you're dating somebody in the continent. So tell us briefly about your experience.
I'm doing well, but that's something for any viewers. I actually have a series here on YouTube called Love on the Continent, and I'm seeing someone here in Ghana, and so we kind of talk about our experiences and different cultural differences and things like that. But when it comes to me, obviously the perception is with me coming from the West that I'm going to be extremely independent. And the thing that my partner has expressed to me that he appreciates is that I'm not dominant that way. I'm able to let him be the man in the situation. And, and I mean, essentially, I think it really boils down to picking your battles. It's not necessary to assert your opinion every time. And it's not necessary to belittle your man by constantly trying to have the upper hand, because there can't be two heads. Alpha women tend to expect an alpha, pursue alpha males, but alpha males prefer to pursue beta women because beta women will allow them to still be the alpha in the situation. And that is why many alpha females find themselves in a position they do, because they basically want an alpha male, but they're going to compete with that alpha male in the relationship for the control of it, unless the alpha female is willing to submit to the male, so to speak. So I think that's more or less my model. I am an alpha female. I'm independent, I'm very ambitious and things like that. But in the setting of a relationship, I do allow the male to still have his position. And that is, that has been a good way for me to be able to capture an alpha male. But, like I said, African Tigers knows more of the behind the scenes, but with alpha males, they don't like contention. They want to be the leaders in the house. So if they feel that there's their woman is competition for them, that she's constantly contending with them, that's going to put them off, and they do get attracted to alpha females, and they do feel that intellectually they're on the same page. But when it comes to marriage and settling down, they will often go for beta women because they feel like they're not going to go through all that contention with their partner if they choose a woman, that will submit easier, or so to speak. So my experience here on the continent is going very well, but I've tried to strategically handle myself here. I have seen other women from the diaspora that have basically come with the way they've been doing things in the West, and they have not been successful because they end up pushing away males, and or males just using them for, sex or resources and things, but not really looking at them as a long-term prospect. So if you're coming from the West and you're coming to the continent, you kind of have to know how this environment works. If you want to be successful, if you come and you want to be, very, very independent and feminist and stuff like that, or just have very strong views about how you want everything done, it will be very challenging for you here. And that's just the honest truth,
All right. I think Hakon just sprang at that point. Kindly, let's get the lights up. We have 73 people watching. Let's get the lights up. African American, go out of their way. They can choose. Okay. Hit that like button. All right. So, Ruby, you have something to add on that. My question is, what would happen as a housewife? I know this situation might not really make sense to you. This situation might not really make sense to you, but because you already have your house, you have everything. So, okay. Now let me ask you in this scenario. So, all the two ladies with me here, they are all YouTubers. And yesterday I had a live stream with Ruby. She's lived in the Middle East for close to 12 years. She invested back home. We are at her house. She has her house already. Like, she has her business. She's invested in real estate already. So would you take a man to come and live with you? But also try to look at it in the perspective of someone like me who doesn't have a house or who doesn't have a house. Because for you are looking, I think how you probably would look at it is different from how I would look at it. Because me, I still feel like I need to build. You see, you build your mansion. I also feel like I need to build my mansion. Okay. Yeah. So would you accept a man to come and live in your house? A man with ambition.
A man with potential.
A man with potential. How would you accept? Would you allow a man to come and live in your house? And then when you're making money from the house rentals that you share with the man and all that?
No, I think that is a disaster in the waiting. I feel like that. Okay, what I mean by that is that at my age, because I'm in my mid-30s, I feel like majority of men, they usually, especially when they find out that I'm freshly from diaspora and I have invested and all that. No, even before you even tell them that you have invested, they know that you are Metoka Maju.
Yeah, so
you are from diaspora, so automatically Kenyans just assume that if you have ever boarded a plane to go outside Kenya for years, you live there, automatically you have money. So you cannot even argue with them regarding that. So for me, it's very difficult because majority of guys that I get to meet, just now I came back home and I'm actually trying to date, but majority of them are sort of still struggling. So I feel like I'm not trying to meet somebody who already have built a house and have invested, because majority of these men who are very high up and level up, they have gotten women behind them who have struggled with them to reach where they are right now. So in Kenya, these are people who are sort of an A-list, so they hang out with people who are high rated. I don't have a university degree, and they rank themselves as well, especially people who've got houses and real estate and all that. So I don't rank up to where they are ranking up, especially this type of men. So it's going to be very difficult for me to find a man who is already ranked up there. For one, because they are already married and they have women who've actually struggled with them to reach where they are. To find somebody who is 36 plus, who is where I am here right now at this point, who's been living in Kenya throughout, who is even single, is not easy. So majority of time I find guys who are like sort of struggling, and they've left one job after the other. They are single simply because they cannot even afford to feed to take care of themselves. So coming to my house, I'm gonna feel like a sugar mommy, as in now I'm gonna take care of. I feel like he's gonna be my son rather than my partner or my husband. So I feel like that is struggle love, and I don't want to be in a struggle love. I did not work my ass off to reach where I have reached, only to come and drag a Mr. Wrong to the right just because I am so desperate and I need somebody to just come and scratch my itch. I think that is not the way I am looking at it, or not where my mind space is at, because I reached a point where I remember very well that a lot of people, because in Kenya, we have a culture of you need to be married by a certain age. If you're not married by a certain age, something is terribly wrong with you. So your age mates will sort of snare at you. They will make these comments and they will talk bad at you, especially when you don't have children yet at a certain age. So there is this culture whereby you just feel so alienated and you feel horrible. You need to be married by a certain age. If you are not, you feel like the society is judging you for not even having had a baby by your age. So it makes ladies sort of just drag whichever man, and they get this man and start living with this man to have children with them. But at the end of the day, there are some of these relationships actually work. But with me, I find that such men, first of all, they are, in my experience, I don't say all of them, they are sort of lazy lovers. Because I feel that is just how I feel, and I don't want struggle love.
Okay, so now the question is, compared to most people whom we can say your age, in Kenya, most men, we can say you are maybe accomplished in terms, not I can't say, I don't know your goals and all that, but I can say the things you've accomplished at your age, not so many men have accomplished.
Yes.
Some people, it would take them to be there to be able to build such a house, okay? And also because it's not just that you have
invested,
you've invested and all that. So and you also mentioned the fact that getting the reality that man is not very common, and you said where they hang out and all that is not probably your circles and all that.
No.
So how do you look at handling the situation, the dating situation?
First, because I was saying something before you sort of interjected.
Uh-huh.
I wanted to say that it reached a point where I thought to myself that maybe my standards are too high, because I'm not gonna find somebody who already have their own house, because I'm not moving out of my house to go live in a servant quarters. I'm sorry, no, I'm not gonna do
Or
that.
maybe make him pay
Or,
rent.
or
No,
making
no,
no, I'm not gonna do that. So I find that majority of the people who are want to like sort of marry me, obviously proposing and all that,
Yeah.
majority of them are really like really struggling. But at the end of the day, I'm like, why am I gonna be struggling with them? So at some point it reached, I wanted to just like put my guard down and say, okay, I see my neighbor's husband does not have a good job, and I see so and so my other neighbor doesn't have a job. I see the husband is always at home. They are sort of, and they are living happily. I don't see them fight or anything. I just want a husband. I want the children, and I want to, I just want a husband. Why not just drag this one who doesn't have nothing and who
make
is
him right.
really struggling? For example, some of them don't even have ancestral homes. Like, for example, if I marry them, this my house, I can't be buried here. If one day I depart. So they will need to
cemetery.
Yeah, they need to say to buy cemetery. That's not okay. In my culture, that is not okay that a woman like me, I'm married and I'm gonna be buried in a cemetery. That is, my culture is not possible. So the guy who doesn't even have ancestral land, or yani, things are just already not aligned for him. So I'm gonna go there and I'm gonna struggle with them. So I actually give myself a wake up call, because I almost gave in to a guy who was a struggle guy. He was really struggling, and I thought to myself, what am I doing? Like, because he's like, what is he bringing on the table? Like, I'm bringing something, but what is he bringing? And I just thought to myself that no. I don't think it's gonna work for me. I don't feel good about it, I don't feel good about it.
I've seen like women in, like, especially in my tribe, like the Kisi tribe, they usually, like, when the woman has, like, for example, you are Kisi and you have this house and a man comes to be your husband, and you live here because obviously you can't go rent out. You make him pay rent.
You make him pay rent for the house.
Yeah, you make him pay rent, like, even if it's half of the rent, because it's 50-50. So he pays rent.
There's always going to be a conflict, because first of all, in our African culture, men are supposed to be ahead, women beneath, most of the time, right? Men are supposed to be
I choose not to be that woman. I choose not to be that woman, though.
I know, but let's just say exactly how it works. Men are the main source of breadwinner, the breadwinner in the house.
Yes.
And if a woman is already established, a man automatically comes to you with this personality or an attitude of, you're looking down on me. So whatever you say to him, or however, like, already he's already put a guard up, because you are rich or you are this, you are looking down on me. So to start with, even that relationship, you're not on the same level, or even you're not on the same mind space. So how is that gonna go? Already you have the poverty mentality, and you are trying, you've propelled, and then he look at your house, maybe they just be looking at, how am I going to finish her so that I can get her papers and transfer this house to my name, because it just doesn't happen to women only. Also, men behave like this in Kenya. So I feel like,
so I just have a question. I have a question for you. I have a question because I heard you mention that you're also coming from the diaspora. So how has your dating been on either side? Because, if you're having these challenges in Kenya, which is natural, when we come back, even if we would see ourselves to be an average person in the diaspora, we 9 times out of 10, if we have migrated to the continent, we have more than maybe some of our age mates, more money, more resources, whatever. So herein lies the challenge, because in the West, I can't speak for you, but even though I'm beautiful, well-educated, hardworking, eligible and all that stuff, the Black men in the West are looking elsewhere, okay? Either they're homosexuals, they're dating interracially, they don't want to settle down, this is happening across the board to, African migrants and also Black Americans, Black British, the whole nine. Lots of single mothers in the West. So you're not eligible there. But when you come to Kenya, or you come to, in my case, I'm in Ghana, now your age mates are not to your caliber. So where do you fall? Because, something's going to have to give. I mean, I get you with the struggle of, and honestly, a man that doesn't have much, he will feel inferior to you. He will feel inadequate, because he cannot be of use in a manly context in your house, because you have so many things. So I'm wondering, like, how are you going to go about this? Like, what is your direction?
I'm not really so worried about it at the moment. It used to worry me a long time. When I was in diaspora, I was working a job where it required me to fly a lot and be in different destinations at different timings. So I really didn't have. I was living from suitcase to suitcase. So, and majority of people that was in my circle were people who are also living from suitcase to suitcase. So, having a long-term relationship with this type of people who are just like sort of travelers, and it wasn't easy. And then that was my priority. Yes, was to find a partner. And I've always just wanted to have a partner. I do not just date for fun and date for, but maybe, I don't know, it's my aura or what, but I've always attracted people who don't want anything serious. Like if they hear that somebody would go with me on a date, and I'll tell them, oh, well, I'm 35. And then they'll tell me, aren't you afraid of your biological clock ticking already? Like, such are the questions that they're asking me on a date. So I'm like, I feel like they might be feeling like I have a pressure to get married. So I don't talk about marriage straight away, but obviously after talking to them, they know exactly where my mind space is that I'm not looking for flings. I'm not looking for something I'm looking for something long term. But majority of the people I met, they're just looking for fling. They were just people in my field of work. And again, majority of them are age brackets. Majority of them are married, and of course also gay and such and such. And
Yes,
in diaspora, it didn't work out for me. And I would be honest, because right now we are on this live, and I think I'm a bit too honest and too open. That is what my channel is about anyway. I was I was very much confused about dating, okay, about what I wanted, because at some point I just wanted to date outside my ethnicity, because I was very fixated on that. I felt like, since I come from a very broken home, I always felt like my dad was never really taking care of us, and I go through so much pain in my life growing up, and most of this pain were inflicted by men in my life that were supposed to be there to protect me and to take care of me. But then I felt like I just didn't have love in the Black community. So I was trying to look for love out there, like thinking that probably if I can't find love, the only person who can love me is the savior. I used to have the savior mentality. So I was looking for a savior to love me, like somebody from diaspora, or somebody, looking for like a Caucasian man, because in my mind, these are the people who can love me, because who else can love me? Black men have failed me, from my father, my brother, my uncle, my what, everybody has failed me. So I just gave it a very negative outlook regarding it. So I was not really paying attention to, and again, I was in diaspora, I was flying all over the world, so it was not easy to meet a Black man even. So even to start with, I remember I went on a date with, when I wake up from my sleeping, of course, because I Caucasian man who was a racist. Then I felt like, excuse me, I am a queen. Like, you can't be giving me the N-word and hitting on my hair and all these, and then I woke up from my sleep. I was like, okay, these people, they are my enemies. I'm not supposed to be. Okay, that's. I'm just saying that these people, like some of them, have the racism embedded in their head that they don't get it out.
Absolutely.
So this person, this is somebody who looked at me as the less I was less. He thought
Yes.
that African people were stupid. He thought that we were very, good, like, not good people. So then I dated him, and I was like, I woke up and I said, "Excuse me, like, I'm more than this. Like, why exactly am I allowing somebody of a different ethnicity to abuse me and to make me feel I'm a less of a human being?" Then I said to myself that I'm not gonna do it. So I went out of that. Then I started to clear my mind. It's a bit too late now, but I've sort of cleared my mind. And I'm not looking forward to dating out anymore, because I think I woke up, and I spoke about the such stories in my channel as well. And I gave like the we just sort of idolize this interracial relationship, interracial love. So that we
Girl,
put
you
white
talking right. Woo.
we put white men in such a high pedestal. To an extent, we just feel like when we are with them, we feel like we are so mesmerized to be in their presence. To an extent, we are acting so dumb and stupid, and we feel like we look good next to a white man. We are highly esteemed next to a white man. A white man is loving me, so I feel like I'm more, I'm less like I associate my worth by being praised and loved by these people. So then I say to myself, no, you need to wake up from your slumber, and that is exactly what I did. So after that, I stopped dating, and I said I kiss dating goodbye. I always say that, and I didn't date for quite some time. Then now I came back home, and now I'm still in the process of clearing my mind. Yeah.
Oh,
That
okay.
was
So
okay.
said a lot. Said a lot, and I appreciate your honesty, and I understand, the challenges. The dating is. I don't think any of us really have the answers. We're all just trying to struggle through. But yeah, I get you with the and the reality is, trust me, I know many Black women who have tried to date interracially, and the truth is they are reducing themselves to be in those situations. It's not just like what happened to you, it's what happens behind the scenes, and they try to project something else. But they're being objectified and they're being mistreated by these dirty whites, and that's just the truth of it. So I agree I never went down that path, but I never would. And I promote our people to, look for other alternatives. And honestly, I think maybe sometimes intercultural relationships may be our best bet. Like, so for instance, you expressed the problems you had growing up. So maybe you weren't even really entertaining other Kenyans at that time because you were looking outside, but there have been people that maybe, oh, they've married a Ghanaian, or maybe they've married somebody from Zim and they've had luck, or members from, Black Americans have married Africans and things like that. Because I think to a certain degree, there's a level of like exoticness of us being different from each other. When you date people that are local to you, they don't really see you as unique or special, but sometimes other people are very enamored by those differences. A Kenyan guy's never going to be like, oh, I love your accent. But, if you talk to somebody from, Ghana or Nigeria or something, or Senegal, they'll be like, wow, I love the way you make your food. I like, the way Kenyan women look, or I like the way Ghanaian guys look, or, different things. So for me, that's been my saving grace, because I know here in Ghana, I'm very high in demand. People find me attractive. People find me, people find me very attractive. People find me very interesting and things like that. And then I also am attracted to them too. So it's like, it's not the one-sided, like, oh, this guy likes me, but I don't like them. Like, the person that I'm dating, I think he's absolutely hot, and he also has the same interest in me. So it's very, very nice, and that's something I try to show on our series, which is like, this thing can work, but it does require, communication. It requires work, because there are cultural differences, and you have to look at the long term. So, if you're Kenya and you're dating somebody from West Africa, where are we going to live? How are we going to raise our kids? These are the kind of questions you got to have. I'm living here in Ghana, so it's not a big deal for me. But for some people that want to split their houses and resources, it could be challenging, So those are conversations you have to have. But
I also think too,
Sorry?
No, I'm about to say too, if we're African and we're on a continent, we have like 54 other countries that we can reach out to. We have like African superstar, which is saying we have Ghana, Liberia, Sierra Leone. We have so many like different places we can reach out to get spouses. So if you're in Kenya, if you don't see any good fit in Kenya, sister, look somewhere in Liberia, look somewhere in Ghana. Look at Nigerian men are very smart, they're intelligent. Like we have options. We don't have to go outside of the continent. We got options, plenty of options, actually.
Yes,
Right.
I agree.
Okay. I think there's also an audio issue with the Success Nation. So now let's give a chance to Corey's wife. I hope I say that right. Yeah?
She's so beautiful.
Yeah, hello. Yeah, so it's Laquita, Corey's wife. How is everyone today?
Welcome.
Thank you. Can you guys hear me okay, or is my audio fine?
Yes.
Okay, so I have a perspective from the West, just like the other sister was saying. It's completely different for everyone's perspective. We're all coming from different places. However, I think at the basis of this, like, instead of looking at this as a struggle, instead of looking at this in all of the negative terms that have been given to us by Western culture, I think we just have to really go to the foundation and the basis. From the beginning of the conversation, I heard you ladies speaking of traditional roles, and those traditional roles are ours, from the continent. So even though I was born in America, in the States, as I learn more and more about my cultural history, I realize traditional roles are fine. It's the West that has told us that traditional roles are not fine, because really, when you have a family, and in my situation, I was with my husband from a young age. And so we've been together now 28 years. And so we started dating, and then we got married, and then we had children 6 years later. So we were together 14 years before even having children. And even then, we still had to figure out how we were going to, who was going to work, who was going to raise the children. And we also had the added addition of social pressures and different things on us that were simply Western influences. And so we had to just work through those, because traditionally I should have stayed home, he should have been working. Well, we figured it out so that, yes, I did stay home and I worked. We just figured it out, because the children, they really do need your presence, especially when they're young. Right now, I could sit here, and patiently wait for everyone, because my children the youngest one is now 9 years old. And so they're with my husband at home, but they don't need me. Typically I would have had to go out and come back in 30 minutes, because not to say we can't trust the man, we can't trust the husband. Let's just say
he wouldn't know what to do with them. Traditionally, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, thank you. Because I was going to say, like what the sister said earlier, is that, it's just something about the mom being there. That's what we're there for, because certain things that we pay attention to, the husbands, their mindset is different. And that part comes just naturally. It's not even the Western influence. Men just have a different way of doing things, a different way of managing things. And the women do tend to have a more nurturing situation. Now, if the mother can't be there, that's one thing. If the mother is just gone, not in the picture, or if the dad is not in the picture. But we're talking about from a family unit perspective, it is very important to try to figure out, what will my role be? That way you don't have to take on this boss lady mentality. Because of our situation, my husband is blind. So he went to college as a blind person. He graduated at the top of his class without being able to see. And we didn't have kids. We were married. And then he went into the job market, but he could not ever get a job. It was always difficult, for him to get employment. So this is where we realized I needed to continue to work. We needed to continue to find business opportunities for ourselves. So in the West, they teach you to be an employee. They don't really teach you the mindset of, you know, go out and discuss your finances, go out and do financial planning. That's not really a part. It's sort of like everybody figures it out the same way you ladies are talking about with the dating scene. Everybody's just figuring it out. Whereas if we go with some of the more traditional roles, and then we have that nurturing man, because the African man, and like my husband Corey, he's home with the kids now. He used to take care of them when they were infants, because that's just what he is, you know, a nurturing African man. And so
Mm.
even now,
Mm.
you know,
Yes.
you know, and he got that from his father because his father took care of him that way. He got that from his uncles, and they're all black, you know, they're African men. And so he had that strong presence. I had the same thing in my family. So even though I knew I could leave for a short period of time, or if I needed to go to work when the children were little, then okay, I can leave the kids with him for 10 hours, 8 hours, 4 hours, whatever time I need to leave, because I know that in essence, he has a traditional role that he fulfills. Nothing's going to happen to the child. If I come home and the house is burned down, he's already probably in a new house with the child safe, because, you know, he's making sure that everything is good. So I think at the basis of this, though, really it goes back to traditional roles and relationships, so that instead of just seeking people for a spouse or an intimacy or that sort of partnership, we seek people first for their value. What are you about? What are your goals? What are your needs? You know, what are you interested in? Because marriage isn't pretty, it isn't wonderful and blissful all the time, but when you have common goals, then all of the things that come along, they don't matter so much, because if both of you know that you want to be honest and true to each other, and you don't want to ever cheat, and by cheat, I mean you don't want to shortchange your spouse, you don't want to give them less than you can, because when you do those things, you are cheating your family, you're cheating yourself, you're cheating your spouse. So, you know, I think for me, just my experience being in the West, and I'm not super old, I'm just not as young as I used to be. So I'll just say, you know, that's been my experience looking at my relationship, other people's relationships around, and how they progress. But everyone here is so wise and so informative. This has been a beautiful conversation, so I really appreciate being a part of it.
Thank you so much, Corey's wife. I do appreciate. Are you looking? She told me that. She
That was
told me to call
excellent. That was
her because
excellent.
her name I
That was
can't
excellent.
remember. I keep forgetting her name. She told me to call her Corey's wife.
People remember.
So, do you guys have a YouTube channel? Do you guys have a YouTube channel?
Yes,
Yeah.
they do.
Yeah.
Blind guy,
Okay.
his wife, their life. That's their YouTube channel. She's
Ah,
coming up there, and she's at the Nilotic Empress TV.
Yeah.
And of course, after this live stream, I'm definitely going. In fact, I think it's in the description. Let me see. Yeah, if someone, yeah, in the description, yes, there's links to their channels on the description. So I see
okay.
a lot of people coming in. Hit the like button, share your opinions. I would love to hear from you. And at this point, let me also promote this. I launched my Kiswahili course last week on Sunday. So I remember earlier on doing these live streams, a lot of people were very much interested in learning Kiswahili. So we launched last week on Saturday, last week on Sunday. I'm not very sure, but the time could have run out for this offer. But still, you can go ahead because we had a discount for the people who signed up for the first week. I appreciate everyone who signed for the course. I really appreciate. The offer could be running out in the next, what's the time? Or maybe, I think it's run out, sorry. But I'm dropping the link. If you go to learnkiswahili.com, you are able to find the best Kiswahili course ever existed in this world. So go ahead, check out my course. And also next year, August, I'll be traveling to Jamaica. If you'd like to join me, the link is in the description. So let's continue the conversation. So I've seen someone in the chat say, I will never allow my love to work for another man, for I work hard to provide for the family and establish business for her to manage. I get that perspective. So I'm trying to look at it from these points. Okay. Personally, at this point, I have my businesses I'm running. Okay, one of them is this course anyway. That one is I'm not really working for anybody. But I do have other businesses, not really working for another man. What if your wife is working for another woman? Because I think it's a problem with wife working for another man. What if your wife is working for another woman?
Can I
First question.
Answer that.
I have another like a
Speak. Yeah, just speak.
So what if like this business you require a percentage from your husband?
What percentage?
What do you mean?
Like the way he has stated, you say like he says he wants the woman, the wife to run the businesses. So what if the woman co-shares?
She said he's gonna establish the business for the woman to run it. So I think I don't know if it's just managing his business or she's a shareholder or it's just like 50-50. I don't know the dynamics. But what if your woman is working for another woman? Secondly, we all have businesses. Okay, personally, I will speak for myself. I do have other businesses that I do, and I can't say like it's working for somebody, but sometimes I do get contracts that I do that I have, and they make good money. That means I have to be contracted by someone to do the work, and I do have other businesses that I have partnership with men. Is that supposed to be a problem, or does it mean that when you're marrying this woman, she has to stop everything that she's worked so hard to establish so that you can just cross over and start your business? Or maybe you'll get maybe a woman who doesn't have anything going on. So I would love to hear your perspective on that.
Yeah, for me, I think that I feel like if you have to sort of allow that woman, whichever woman that is in your life, to have her own dreams and her own ambitions. Because at the end of the day, you never know. Things usually happen. People part ways or things go south. We don't always look forward to such things to happen, but sometimes they do happen. So for a woman, I think it's very smart for a woman to have her own thing going on. So, and also a man who only insists that a woman has to do whatever he suggests or whatever business is set up, I feel like that is a way of why are you destabilizing her and not encouraging her to actually reach out to doing whatever she loves? That even you have to prepare your woman for your departure. Maybe something might happen to you, and maybe she solemnly just relies on you with your business, with whatever, and then when something happens to you, she doesn't have anything to run back to. So I think that a woman has to sort of, even if you actually set for her a business, let it be a business of her choice, and not something that you are the one who is suggesting. You're the one who is like, this is a business I've put for you. You have to manage it, and this is what you have to do. What if that is not what she wants to do? I feel like things can go south. I feel like I'm not confident in that, as in to just put my things, my eggs in one basket and just solely rely in a man to fund my business and do everything for me, because I believe in sort of standing on my own at some point, as in, and having my money tucked in somewhere just in case of emergency, without really yeah, I don't know, maybe I'm saying that because I'm not married and I don't know how it works with married people out there. I'm not sure.
You have something to add to that?
No.
Okay. Someone is saying, the same person says this. When a woman marry a man in Sub-Saharan Africa, everything she have belong to her husband. That's Africa culture. So when you marry a man, everything you have will belong to the man.
It depends, but nowadays in this life, what happens if it's something that we have accumulated together, it goes 50-50. But if it's something you found me, like for example, you found me with my things, those are mine. Why your name cannot be included in them, and you can't have those? But the only thing that you are entitled to is things that we have accumulated together. So in my case, there is no way he's gonna have what's mine. I don't think so.
Okay.
What do you think?
Okay. Personally, everything personally, everything that I have that is mine,
Mm.
it does not become yours. How? Like, how how is it that what I'm like if I have built a house, so we go change the deed, the title deed and everything so that it also includes your name and it
Maybe-
becomes
maybe
it can
they're
become
saying-
yours by you just living in it, but it cannot become yours that you're going to change everything legally and say you are a shareholder because you don't know the struggle, the stress and everything I've gone to put it.
No.
I can just allow you to use the same way you can allow me, but I like me, my.
But let me
No.
answer the process of dying.
No.
Like you die when you have when your husband.
But he's my
dies.
next of kin.
Okay.
My children, him and my children, especially my.
Guys, I don't know how I feel about it, but honestly, I don't feel like I wouldn't love you so much to an extent that I'm just gonna like leave my will to you. Like I feel like I wanna leave it to the orphanage.
You don't want your husband will not be your next of kin.
No,
Who will be your next of
Don't
kin?
you
orphanage.
An orphanage.
Yes.
Awesome. Let's hear.
Or like the way you think is like why you are still the way you. Because when you enter a marriage, you are one. Okay.
So
You're one.
No, but then why did you say that you want prenup when you get married?
yes, you said you are prenup. So
Yes.
what's the use of prenup when you say you are one when you
Yes, you
married?
are one when you are together. When we divorce, you are nothing together.
Then you are getting married. You are waiting to
But you
get.
always get married thinking for the best.
No, but
But what's the use of the prenup then?
For protection.
Oh, prenup for what?
When you are together, it's good. When you are not, it's done.
Then me.
so when I die, so we are not together when I die.
But you don't. When you enter
But when you
let's do
relationship,
that
you
part.
don't. Also, when you say the way we think could be the reason why we're single, but you're also not single really. I can't say we are single. I'm not speaking for everybody. That's why we are not married.
Just because you're
You're
not
not
married,
married,
you're not married.
You're
though.
not married.
No, I'm
You're
saying
still
that.
single.
No, I'm saying for me too. Maybe
Yeah.
that's why we think.
No. It's just like common
You're trying
sense.
to contradict me, but
I know, but you know, none of us is married. So I would like to hear your opinion. Anyone, Superstar, Success Nation, Corey's wife, anyone wants? Okay, Success Nation.
Well,
Okay.
in this case, go ahead, Success Nation. Go ahead.
You can go.
Success Nation, then African Superstar.
Okay. So in that comment where he said that when they get married, the husband take on the wife's stuff. It's kind of like when you marry a man, or if a woman marries a man and the man is wealthy, don't the woman becomes a part of that man's wealth? And so what is the difference that, okay, I'm the woman who has the possession, the man is coming in and I'm trying to say this is mine. But if the man has it, I come and like say, oh, this is ours. So it shouldn't be different. There should not be a difference there. If a man is able to marry a woman and what he has belongs to the woman also, so shall it be vice versa? If a woman marries a man, her possession becomes his too. It should be the same way because now we're becoming one. We're sharing. If I come into a relationship with one car, my husband or my boyfriend don't have a car, would I not share my car with him? Would I not put him on the insurance so that he can drive that car? You know?
No,
So I mean,
that's okay.
Huh?
So the property, let me say you built a house. Are you going to go and change the title deed so as to include him as an equal owner of the house?
How do you go and change a deed? Like if the house deed is already established, right? You know, it's just like when a man is on a house. I mean, if he feels like he wants to be on this deed, if he feels like he wants to be on this deed, if based on the connection, based on the relationship, if he wants to be on there, I mean, because at the end of the day, we shouldn't be so stuck on these material things. We should be more concerned about the relationship, unless he's coming with the wrong intention. Honestly, if he's not coming with love, he's coming with lust. You know, he's coming with his eye for my house or his eye for my car. Then it's different. But if this dude genuinely loves me and I really love him, I wouldn't care about the material thing. I'll add him on the D if he wants that. I'll put him on the insurance. You know, because I would want him to do that for me. So you treat them the way you want them to treat you.
All right, all right. Let's hear from African superstar. But before then, for me, if I have the things that I have, whatever I have really nothing but
No, don't say that. My things are my things. Your things are our.
that's your perspective.
Yes.
Oh, your things are your things. His
Things
things
are
are
our things.
all right. That's your perspective
Aiwa.
in it. But personally, if I have maybe I've bought a house, maybe I have a car and or built a house and things like that, and then a man comes and tells me that they want to be included, so we have to change the titles and that.
No.
We don't mkora and that's
That's a scammer.
that's a scammer. Someone just because they married you and they want you. Oh, African superstar dropped. Just because they married you, that person is not a good person. That person is just trying to scam you. Why would they want to change things that already existed? Yeah. So, okay, go ahead.
Question. Where do you find these eligible men?
Well, everywhere.
Men are
No,
everywhere.
just say it. No, you can't say everywhere.
Horse riding.
No, you
golf
can't
course.
say everywhere.
Men are everywhere.
No, you can't just say that.
They are like me. I see them everywhere. I meet
No, you can't just say everywhere.
everywhere. Let's hear from African superstar.
Okay, sorry about that. I don't know what happened. I had to go out and come in. I would say personally with the situation, my estate, I would probably include my husband at this point into future projects, especially if like he's helping me with my business or building my brand or things like that. But things that I have pre-established, I would probably just maintain them in my own name and things like that. That's kind of something that my mom told me anyway. Growing up was there's nothing wrong with always having a little bit of resources for yourself, and it can also help the family in a rainy day situation. If something happens with your husband or he loses his job or whatever, now it's not necessary for you to boast these things to your husband and take away his manhood. I'm very big on being the silent leader in the relationship. I'm okay with the man having his ego and feeling like he's in control, but obviously I'm making wise decisions behind the scenes to fortify the family. And I think that both people should be in that. Like in the case of my brand, which is the African Superstar, currently I'm doing the Love on the Continent brand with my partner Fifi. So to say that if we go on and get married and we build this brand and this brand becomes very successful, he and I, we operate the brand currently 50-50. So that's how it would go, but obviously the African Superstar, my website, all those things, those are currently and would remain 100% under control of my own, because I had those prior to the relationship. So that's how I would. Now, in regards to what Success Nation was talking about, when you also have children and they come into the picture, I think that it's responsible for you at that time to determine how your assets would be handled in the event that you are no longer available. It's a very real thing. Even I'm kind of a product of that. My mother, my maternal grandmother died giving birth to my mother, and at that time, obviously, the family had to absorb the children and make all kind of arrangements. So I think it's just kind of wise when you begin to have children to look ahead and determine how you would want your partner to deal with it in your absence or whatever, so those are my thoughts on it.
Okay. I've seen someone says if I inherit, I would actually, this would be a nice question. So the person who says that their property, if a man marries a woman, the property or resources that the woman has belongs to the man. So does this include the resources that maybe someone has inherited from the parents? So let me say I've inherited some property from my parents. Because in some cultures, as a man, you cannot
inherit.
You cannot inherit property that your wife inherited from the parents.
Yeah.
And I think at that point it would go to the children. I mean, you can set it up that it would go to the children if you don't want necessarily your husband, to absorb your property. Now, if it were just the two of you and maybe you didn't have children, then he is your next of kin. But it would get down to the legalities of the whole thing, if your family members would then try to contest, if it hadn't already been like determined and prepared for him to absorb your estate,
Okay. So now we're going to go. I don't see many questions. If you have any question, type, because now I'm gonna ask the last question and any other question that will be asked.
Somebody says here that in my culture, if I inherit, this is what you said. Oh,
Yeah. If they inherit property, a man cannot
okay.
inherit property that a woman inherited from the parents. Okay, so what is your take on polygamy, Kemunto?
No, big no.
A big no. Why?
Yes. I just for me personally, it's a big no, because my father was
Your father?
my
Was a
father was
polygamist.
a polygamist, and I saw the effect it had on our family. So for me personally, I wouldn't want to be married
To a man who's already married.
to.
Okay, so maybe if you can tell us, maybe in general, what's the major disadvantage to you that you can say is the disadvantage of polygamy?
Economy
You can speak up.
economy wise, like financially wise, you'll always be lacking, because you're
What if the man is like really extremely rich, like a chief?
I really don't. I don't want.
Like he's extremely rich. He has all the wealth. Wherever he wants, they can.
There's so many
never
things.
ends well.
There's like witchcraft. There's so many things. There's bad eyes. Like there's so many. I can name many prawns than prawns.
Yeah.
Okay, what about you?
Me, I came from a polygamous family, and I can never encourage anybody to go marry a man knowingly. If she knows that this man is actually married, I wouldn't recommend, because there is a lot of malice, a lot of hate. If the father is very responsible to know how to manage the family, because let's not forget that polygamy is actually allowed here in Africa, and there is a lot of men who are in polygamous family, and there are women who are very much willing to marry a man for being second, third wife, or fourth wife, or whatever. But then it just depends on how that man is. He so alpha and very strong, and he can control and can sit down with family and explain to them, and everybody get along, because I know that there are families whom everyone gets along, the wives sit together, they all eat together, they all are happy, big family. But my family, per se, my dad wasn't very responsible. He just went into the polygamous thing unknowingly, and he was not ready to even sit people down to explain anything. So my stepmom was unhappy for my mom being brought into the picture and everything, and they ended up having so many children. Like we were like almost 19, and all of us don't drink. We can't even drink water with each other. Like we can't even see each other face to face. So I do not like that, because it's not good. There's a lot of hurt, there's a lot of pain, there's growing up, fighting, these children are beating this my mama is being beaten. Like it's just a mess. I don't want to go through that.
What if it's a man, you talked about an alpha man who's able to bring people to sit down and talk and manage and control whatever?
No, I don't want to go through that.
No,
I don't. You be alpha man over there with your whatever is going on there, but I don't want to be involved in it.
I see.
And it's like, for me, I feel like it's a cycle that began with my family and it ended horribly, and I don't want to carry that cycle and continue that cycle again and again. So that is why it ends with me. So I'm not gonna go into polygamous, even me also. So I don't want that.
Okay, personally, I didn't grow up in a polygamous family, and polygamy for me is a complete no. For me, I don't have the patience. No. People talk about the advantages, sharing resources. They say African culture. They say a lot of things to justify that. It's okay. If it's somebody's choice, that's it. But no one is going to make me say yes to polygamy because maybe some African culture practiced it. Because even when they talk about polygamy, not all African cultures that are polygamous. So for me, polygamy is a complete no, no, no. I grew up in a monogamous. My parents are monogamous, and I choose that path. Good. What's your take on that? Success Nation.
Polygamy. You know what? On both sides of my family, my mother's side, I was raised on. I never really saw polygamy until I got with my father's side in the States. When I came to the States, that's when I started hearing about different different grandmoms, different from my dad's side. My grandfather, they said he had many wives. Matter of fact, before he died, he had like this really young girl that he had a baby by. So yeah, so my grandfather really spread out that seed out there. But the drama that I experienced from my father's side about somebody doing this, I mean, just so much drama associated with it. I'm just like, this is crazy, you know? This is just chaos. You know, your brother did this, your mom did this to my sister. I mean, it's just ugly. I don't know. Like I see it on TV, and they make it look very, very presentable. They make it look very beautiful. Like all the wives are in one house, they're eating, they're smiling. But even I heard stories in Africa where these women will be fighting each other, just for the man. You know, I mean, I don't have time for it. I don't appreciate it. But they said it's good. To each his own, but it doesn't work for me because from my dad's side, it's just too much chaos. It's just too much chaos. They're not unified.
Me too.
Okay, African superstar, your take on polygamy. You're talking about traditional African, and you're saying no to polygamy.
No.
When polygamy was allowed, there was land, there was money. There was land.
But in this case, we're not talking about men who don't have. We're talking, you know, that it's still living in this very African setting. That men, even right now, who still have like clearly huge land. They have land. They have money. Okay, no, like you don't want to be part of
why?
That,
No. Jealousy, I'm a jealous woman.
No,
I can't share.
But there's still other culture who actually practice polygamy, and they are striving on it. It's working well for them. So it's okay. Some people can do it, but
for me personally, it's not for me.
African superstar. Fifi brings her second.
Actually, you know, it's something that I took a long thought about because not too long ago I was dating a Muslim gentleman for the first time, and this person already had a wife, but you know, we were abroad at the time. And so I really entertained the concept of if I could deal with it or not, because his other family was not around me. And so, you know, I think perhaps in my specific case, I may have entertained it if I knew that I was going to remain in Europe or remain abroad and the other family was elsewhere, you know, because I wouldn't have had to go through the sharing, you know, that you would have to go through when the entire family is together. So in that case, I would be abroad, you know, he would travel back to Africa, see his family for a few months, and then come back and, you know, we would have our family. But I thought about it and I thought about it. And, you know, much like all the other ladies, it's not easy. I also talked to people that grew up in the household and kind of listened to their stories of how it goes down and stuff like that. So ultimately, I would definitely prefer, you know, one partner.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think it's unanimous, you know, pretty much across the board. I know for me, it was, I'll say this. It's
Your audio is not as good as it was the first time.
So that one, oh, okay. Is this any better if I speak up?
Yeah.
Okay. So I will say this. Polygamy from a traditional sense, if, like the sister just said, if you have all of the things that you had culturally, as far as money, land, a certain set of cultural values that everybody is practicing. But I believe that nowadays we're so far removed from that part of tradition, it's just not going to work. So, you know, for me, it's an absolute no as far as polygamy. However, Corey, my husband, he has always had a work wife. Like we call it a work wife when there's someone at work that, or work husband, I guess, but a work spouse. There's someone at work that you interact with, they help you, you chat all the time, you ham it up, you laugh, you hang out at work. There's no intimacy, there's no hugging, there's no that. So, like for Corey, because he can't see and he's a people person, I noticed, well, we both noticed, Corey and I, that women are very comfortable around him. They like to talk to him because he has great conversation. He's not looking at them, sizing them up. He's just genuinely talking about whatever is at hand. So it's like, then what happens is if he needs to go to the coffee shop, that's the person that's going to say, oh, yeah, I'll go. I'll walk over there with you because, hey, we can have a conversation. We can hang out. I don't have to, worry about you doing any funny business, So I think that's something that it's not the same as polygamy, but I know a lot of people are jealous when their significant other, their spouse, whoever, enjoy when that person enjoys the company of another person. And there's, that's when you get into the jealousy. That's when you get into unnecessary things, because if your relationship is true to the person that you're with, then you're not necessarily engaging in these additional relationships from an intimate standpoint. They're just relationships, they're just friendships, they're just work relationships, they're business or whatever. If you play sports, then it's camaraderie, but a lot of times we confuse, certain things. We mix up things. So if we're talking about polygamy, no. If when Corey with his work wives, I knew their phone numbers. We didn't call and chat, but we knew each other. It wasn't like these women were like wives. You know what I mean? It wasn't like I was really sharing him with these people, but at the same time, he knew and I knew, we all knew our boundaries, and we knew that no, we are not sharing each other with anybody, because like everybody's saying, it creates too much drama, it creates too many questions, people being mistreated or what have you, and there's just not enough time to go around for everybody. Like there's going to be a lack in today's society. Just nowadays, it's not going to work for me. Absolutely not, ever.
Okay. So it's been really amazing. Thanks to everybody who's showed up. Hit the like button. We can get the likes. We can have more likes than we have. I've not checked, but I know we can. There's some people who are watching and you've not hit the like button. Don't be a ghost viewer. I love engagement. So support the stream as well. I love engagement. Hit that like button. I would love to hear your opinion. So right now I'm just taking questions, and then we're going to be concluding in the next maximum 13 minutes, because it's 1:47, 1 hour 47. We've been here for 1 hour 47 minutes. So we're going to be concluding in the next 30 minutes. So someone says, ladies, I have a question. What's the difference for a man married to one woman but have multiple side chicks outside marriage? And what's the difference with that and polygamy? I don't support none. I don't agree. And if you're married to me, is it married to me or married to you, wherever? Like if you're married and you have multiple side chicks, that's we're done. Okay? Even one side chick, we are done. Okay, cool. Just that. We're done. Yeah, and the same way, if you want to bring someone else, okay, stay with the person because I'm leaving. Period.
I mean, I think as far as that goes, polygamy is better than side chicks, because at least in that case, you've made the women your wives, and like it's out in the open, and you're not sneaking around. And also in polygamy, when she becomes your wife, she becomes your responsibility. So at that time, you have to take care of her and the children from the relationship. Side chicks really don't have much security, so. And I'm with African Tigress on that. I mean, if he's blatantly cheating on you, then I wouldn't tolerate that. So.
What's your take? I know.
No, I don't. No, for me, same. I cannot.
Uh-huh. And someone is saying, if the man can have multiple women, why can't the woman add a few extra husbands?
And
All right.
if you can handle it, if you can handle more than one, go for it.
And I'd like to add to that part as well because, well, like she says, if you can handle it, really and truly, the woman, we naturally give 2,000% in a relationship. We are like, okay, what needs to be done? How does it need to be done? How can I support you, me, us? And so realistically, I think that's another reason to say no to polygamy because I feel like even for the men, if you can't give 2,000% to this one relationship, and if you can give 2,000%, you should not have time to add anything else in. We shouldn't really need anything else. Bring in different relationships for work or something, but we don't need, more housemates, more lovers. No, let's leave that outside. I'm sure we can get this done.
And I think also that you sparked something. I think also when there's a lot to be desired in the relationship, that opens the doors for people looking outside of their relationship. The more that you tend to pour into your relationship and try to meet your partner's needs, and they also try to meet your needs, it cuts down on that. People are
Right.
looking. I mean, there are some people that are just greedy or maybe sex maniacs or something, like they just can't get enough. But a lot of people are looking outside of the household when their partner is not meeting their needs. So I think, sometimes we look externally to resolve problems, but if we looked internally, for instance, if you as a woman, a lot of women do this, they neglect their husband sexually, or when they get married or they have children, they stop keeping their looks up, or they stop being as engaging with their husbands as they were when they were dating. Naturally, he can get fed up with that and start looking for the way you used to be before your marriage. I mean, even if you try to give a little effort, and obviously, Corey's wife she has children, Success Nation has children, so they know, but Success Nation is always dolled up every time I see her. She keeps herself together, she
Yes.
does her hair, she's a very beautiful woman, and that's what you have to keep going on in your relationship, so that he doesn't lose interest in you,
I
and vice
think
versa for the males too. Don't get all like uh my partner, we just had a really funny episode on Love on the Continent, and he was talking about getting pot bellies because he works out and he's got big muscles and stuff like that. And that's true. Like, I like athletic men. I like men that are well groomed. I like, I'm into that. So don't get with me and then feel like you can just let go, like, no.
But honestly, that's where I beg to, just say, put the importance on the details, because when you really are with someone for deeper reasons, then
Right.
the looks aren't as important. And I say that specifically because Corey always tells the story of wanting to date me because he saw a skirt walk past with some legs. He was like, "Whoa, let me stop and go back." So 2 years, but 2 years later, he could not see. He has not been able to see me since he was 19 years old. And so
Wow.
even right. And so my point is that both of us have changed over the years, not just in our, like, say, for example, sure, we look older, and sure, our bodies have expanded and contracted. We'll just put it that way. But what really, really counted, like people always tell them, Corey, oh, you have such a beautiful wife, because they think, oh, you can't see, you might have gotten a bad one or something. And so,
Right.
so the point, the point I'm trying to make is that one thing that's like the main thing for us is that, like, well, what's on the inside? What are you really doing? What's really important? Because I tell everybody, it's a joke, but it's true. You can't see me in the morning or at night, because when I take off my face and my hair, no, we can't do it. But
But I mean, already by the fact that he's gone through that massive transition in his life, and you stood by him. I think I mean, it's very obvious just for having the first conversation with you that your interest and love in him goes way beyond, surface, shallow things,
Mhm.
and and I'm pretty sure that gives him a lot of solace too, because there's not a lot of people that could handle that situation.
But I
People
think
would,
that's what a lot of people have to really focus on,
yeah,
so
yeah,
that way all more people can put more depth into their relationships.
absolutely.
Y'all know
All
what
right.
I think? I think men who encourage what's the word? Monogamy? Monogamy? What's the word?
Polygamy.
Polygamy or monogamy? Which one?
Polygamy, I think men who encourage polygamy are the men who are not willing to solve any issues in their relationship. Because most of the time I see them, right? Whenever the problem happens in the home, they jump up to the other woman's house. Just like that man that will go to the side chick. That's how I see men who engage in polygamy, because they don't want to fix anything, like Superstar was saying. Like, you gotta be able to fix what's going on in the relationship. You gotta be able to focus on fixing yourself, fixing what it is. But you're here jumping from one house to another, because who's gonna have made you mad? Now you're going to Manta because you don't got nothing. Like, that just, like, fix yourself. I think they need to fix yourself.
Yeah.
Right. So we've been here for almost 2 hours. I do appreciate all the panelists we've had. Maybe just 1 minute to share. I know all of you have YouTube channels, to just say your channels as we're concluding this. But I know the ladies here also have YouTube channels, and they are parting shots. Let's start with Corey's wife.
Oh, absolutely. Thank you. My channel is Blind Guy, His Wife, Their Life. And it's just a channel about our life. And we have a live show where we bring people on 3 days a week, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And it's just changing the narrative of normal is what the live show is. Blind Guy, His Wife, Their Life.
Thank you so much. I appreciate Success Nation.
Yes, hi guys. I do have a channel. My channel is Success Nation, just like my name. But I am going to be switching up my channel. I'm going to start doing a lot of fashion on my channel because I enjoy fashion. So if you like cheap fashion, cheap clothing, whatever, you can come find me on that channel. Yes. So come and find me, and so we can shop together.
All right. Thank you so much. I appreciate African Superstar.
Yes, I am Jeannie Ifoe, the one and only African superstar. I am here on YouTube. I have a few channels, actually. My namesake channel, The African Superstar. We recently passed 10K, so I'm very excited about that. And I also have the channel that I was mentioning throughout this topic, which is called Love on the Continent, which is about my romantic prospects here in Ghana, where I have recently migrated with my partner Fifi, who is a Ghanaian who lives here. So we have some funny topics, and then we have some more serious topics. He's quite a character. So I welcome you to come and check me out on any of those channels.
All right. Thank you so much. I do appreciate. Also, the ladies here have their own YouTube channels. Your parting shots and conclusion.
My channel is the Nilotic Press TV. I just rant. I rant my way through life. That's all I do.
All right. You.
And my name is Kemtobe. I do Kenyan lifestyle and travel.
Okay, so thanks to everybody who's been on the panel. I do appreciate your contribution. We're going to be doing more lives and more videos. I know that some of you who are watching me on Kenyan Sister, that is my blogging channel, by the way. In case you're watching me on African Tigress, go ahead. More videos, more fun videos, like really day-to-day videos. Check out Kenyan Sister, because that way you're going to be able to see the other side. You're going to see the other side of the African tigress on the Kenyan sister channel. Go ahead, check out that channel. Check out everybody's channel who's been on the panel. Apparently today everybody on the panel actually
I'm gonna
have a
subscribe
YouTube
to
channel.
all of you. I'm gonna subscribe to all of you.
Yeah, and also my parting shot, my take on the polygamy issue. Personally, I respect everybody's choice. If polygamy is for you, really, if it's working for you, and I mean that's really good. I'm really happy for you. But as long as you don't push your opinion on polygamy down my throat, just as any other opinion we have in life, I'm I'm quite open-minded. Like you can have your opinions, you can choose polygamy, you can choose monogamy, you can choose what you choose. I'm not going to push my monogamous opinion down your throat if you're polygamous. The same way you shouldn't push it. Don't push your opinion down my throat, because however much you do it, I don't believe in that, and it's something I will never ever practice. So yeah, thank you so much. Thanks to everybody who've been on the panel for your comments, for your engagement. I do appreciate. Check out my blogging channel. Check out my Kiswahili course. I shared about it. Okay, yeah, check out my Kiswahili course, learnkiswahili.com. And also, if you want to travel with me to Jamaica next year, August, it's only $1,400 US. The link is in the description box of this video. You can go ahead, and as well as the link to the two ladies with me, their channel. So until next time, Kwaheri. Bye.
Bye. Thank you.